Okay, if Pokemon Go servers weren't down right now, I would definitely be playing because it is a crazy addictive game. It comes from Niantic, which is basically a reskin of their old AR game, but it's amazing. But it also has its problems. I'm going to get to it in my review of Pokemon Go. So I've been playing for about a day and a half pretty solidly, run the battery down about 8 times, and that is not an exaggeration. It is amazingly addictive. If you played Pokemon when you were, I'm going to say a kid, but maybe in the 90s, or you just played those later, you're used to the original 150 plus a little bit more, then you will love this. It is such fan service, and it's so much fun to walk around and discover new Pokemon and catch them and go meet other people kind of and yell at them in the street. I'm on the blue team and I had an altercation with the red team. Not a real altercation, just kind of like shit talking, trash talking. It was fun. And I do like that it's tricking me into exercise because I do not exercise enough. I am guilty of that for sure. That said, is it the best Pokemon game ever? No, because it's not truly a Pokemon game. So anything you've learned from playing any Nintendo Game Boy or Game Boy related handheld device title, it's completely different. The battle system that you would normally use when you're catching wild Pokemon or fighting other trainers is completely gone. It is nothing like that. You don't have to You don't have to whittle down anyone's HP. You don't have to use special, maybe you want a regular Pokeball, maybe you want a Great Ball, maybe you need the Master Ball even. It's all just one. And the gym battles do leave something to be desired because it does seem to be a lot of just like frequent tapping and swishing. If you've played any mobile game, like maybe Fruit Ninja, it's like that kind of. But you really can't win a gym battle without just doing that. And how much skill and strategy does that really require? Another issue I kind of have with it is, so the way you level up your Pokemon is you catch more of that single type. So let's say I have a Growlithe, and I want to level it up. And you catch these all, and then you use your candy that you apply from each transfer back into the Pokemon, and then you can evolve it. Or you can just find a better version of the evolved version out in the wild, which does make what you've done before seem like kind of a waste. And in that makes you hesitant to use any of the candy or Stardust or items at all. The lures are fun. The incense is fun because it does kind of draw them to you instead of you're just sitting there waiting for them to come along, which is what I do because I do work in an office environment. So I can maybe catch one or two that might wander in through the neighborhood, sorta. I would love it if there were a social aspect. It does seem kind of stripped down at this point, but then again, what do you expect for a free game or, free with microtransactions game? I have not paid for any of the microtransactions yet, but maybe I will one day. I would love to see more of a social aspect. Right now, we just have the different teams and just having rivalries between them, I suppose, but I would like it more if I could battle my friend. Or if I could go to a gym and maybe instead of tap, 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 maybe use my different moves, go turn-based, more like a Nintendo game. But then you have to wonder, is it really supposed to be that? And the answer is no. So I would say it's not a great Pokemon game, but it is an excellent AR mobile social game. Probably the most addictive I've ever played, and I've played Neko Atsume. So what it does lack also is a tutorial mode. You kind of have to just figure it out or go online and look up different articles explaining things for newbies. I do have a couple tips. The best thing you can do is walk and gather more. Quantity is where you're probably going to do the best. And every once in a while you'll find a really quality Pokemon with a high CP and it will pretty much render the quantity level ineffective, which I said before, it's ineffective. You do need to have it open for the steps to count toward the eggs, which is something I've learned. And try not to put it on when you're driving because you will be very distracted, as I've been, and need to pull over all the time. And I may be a danger and a nuisance on the road. I'm going to be real. So I need to remove that aspect altogether. I have no idea how much data this is using. I think I will find out at the end of the month. but I'm having fun with it right now. If you have a limited data plan, I would be wary about this because you will get addicted if you love Pokemon, and it will be an issue later on. Right now it does seem like gym battles are all about the tapping and swiping, so you need to watch that. Don't just tap like crazy. Remember to dodge now and then too by swiping left or right, and don't forget to transfer your Pokemon. It does not help you to have 50 Ekans, which I did, and you can always level up your Pokemon in that way. You're gonna do much better in an urban area than you would maybe a rural area. And that's because there will be more Pokestops, and with that more people, and sometimes people put out lures on Pokestops, which is like a free incense for you, which would be to bring the Pokemon out to you, toward you. Do not waste your money on more Pokeballs, potions, or revives. You can easily find those at any stop for free. Save your money up. Maybe get a lure. Maybe get another egg incubator. Lucky eggs aren't the same as eggs. They won't hatch. So just be careful with that. When you're catching a Pokemon, what helps is to hold on to the Pokeball for a longer time. There's a larger white circle and a smaller yellow or green circle within it. When the inner circle gets smaller is when you want to throw the ball at the Pokemon, and it will increase your chances of doing that. Sorry, I keep saying Pokemon. That's how I said it as a kid, and it is ingrained in my head. And I know it's wrong, but that's how I do it. Like I said earlier, this is really addictive, and that shows because the server is constantly down, and it can be very frustrating. For instance, if you put out an incense that lasts only 30 minutes and the server goes down, you don't get to save it until after the server comes back up. It just runs down. So yes, it's very popular. People love it. I love it, despite my issues with it, but it's very frustrating at times. And there's a lot of known bugs. There's some crashing, for instance, when you're catching a Pokemon, which is the most upsetting part. But usually if you close and reopen, the same Pokemon will be there. So give that a try. If you have any affection in your heart for Pokemon, and you have a lot of time on your hands and a lot of data on your hands, I definitely recommend this game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm wondering if this will wear off, kind of like Neko Itsume did, but I'm having a lot of fun for what it is right now, and I haven't spent any money yet besides for my data. So it's been really good for what it is. Audience, are you playing Pokemon Go? Let me know in the comments, and please join Team Mystic, which what I'm on. But more importantly, like and subscribe.